Hey everybody, hope this finds you doing well. This is Danelle here at Networkchain. Let's go ahead and get right into it. It's been a very interesting past week when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We've definitely seen a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see with the cryptocurrency market update, Bitcoin is currently trading at around $85,000, $86,000. It's now down just under 10% over the last 7 days. We'll see if we reached a little bit of a bottom and maybe have a nice little pop up this week. Time will tell, obviously, but right now we're starting to see a nice little move currently. Ethereum trading at $2,820, down about 11% over the past week. We have XRP down 9.22%. We have BNB down 9%. We have Solana down just under 7%, currently trading just under $130. We have Dogecoin, the largest meme coin of them all, currently trading at 14 cents. Then we have Cardano rounding out the top 10, trading just under 8 or just around 18% over the last 7 days. So if we have a look at the Bitcoin chart, a lot of people are coming out with regards to calling that we've reached a Bitcoin top, which is definitely possible. We could be heading towards a prolonged bear market. That's definitely possible as well. But time will tell. This is a new day, a new year. We could be going in a totally different trajectory than we have in the past. Past performance is not indicative of what the future performance will be, but obviously we can use it as a tool to guide us in where an asset potentially could be going moving forward. So if we look at the Bitcoin chart, as you can see here, Bitcoin has definitely breached that $100,000 range, and it actually got down to about 80,000 over the past week. And so now we're seeing that Bitcoin basically since the top around October 6th, when it reached about 126,000 at that all-time high, reached down to just above 80,000. So we do see that with Bitcoin, volatility is the name of the game, and we can see these type of sharp declines in a short period of time. But if we look over the long term, no matter what, Bitcoin trajectory is still on the up and to the right side. So you can see starting in 2023, and really if you go back down to 2022 when we reached the complete bottom of the last so-called cycle, Bitcoin bottomed at around the end of 2022, and since 2023 we've basically been on an upward trajectory. So if you see that we came all the way down from under 17,000 to above 120,000, which is basically a 18x from where Bitcoin was at the bottom, we still have done extremely well as Bitcoin holders. If you've been holding since then, obviously depending on when you get in will determine your ultimate rate of return. But we're seeing that as most Bitcoin holders who have been in the game for a while understand that if you hold Bitcoin over a period of time, that it will continue to go up. Obviously, if you're a trader, it is a little bit different in terms of your strategy, and some traders are very good at being able to time or get close to timing the top, but it's very difficult to do. Most people are unable to do it. So people like me who are investors will just buy and hold the asset and just see what happens over time. So obviously we're going to continue to keep you posted on what happens throughout the next several weeks and next several months to see if we are going to take a bounce back up towards all-time highs. If not, we could even have a bounce up where we had resistance at around $108,000, $109,000. And if we do see that, then there definitely is a possibility that we will be coming back down. That would be what they call a head and shoulders, but we're not very technical here at Networkchain. But just to give you basic technical analysis, we're going to see if Bitcoin, if it does drop down further, the next level of support would be around that $76,000, $77,000 range. That's what a lot of people are calling for right now. We shall see if we even get down to that level. If we do and we pop back up, then we definitely could see a little pop up at least towards $100,000. Then we'll have to check that range to see if we're able to get above that 110 or so $1,000 range and head back towards all-time highs. If not, then we definitely could see a decline back down to this $90,000, $80,000 range. But obviously time will tell, so we'll continue to keep you posted here on YouTube as well as X and IG. So if you take a look at the Bitcoin major corrections from all-time highs, no matter what, whenever we've had a correction from an all-time high, we end up making another all-time high. Now, obviously, it can take a period of time. So you can see here in this right-hand corner, it shows you the number of days that it takes to go from the previous all-time high to the new all-time high after there's been a major decline. So you can see here we're now in the middle of a correction period from October 6th when we had the all-time high to where we were last week. And during that time frame, it was about 45 days, and it took about a 32% decline. And so we don't know when we'll reach, and I believe it is a when we'll reach the next all-time high. The last time this happened was earlier this year, and there was a 32% decline, and it took about 4 months for Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high. We had it again in 2024, and of course we had the major correction where we went down nearly 80%. The last so-called part of the 4-year cycle in 2021, we reached the all-time high near 69,000. We got all the way down below 16,000, and it took 346% to get back to the new all-time high, and it took about 846 days. So it definitely took over 2 years for us to get back to all-time highs. But you see, no matter what, every time we had drawdowns, even when we had drawdowns of 94% in 2011, one of the worst drawdowns, back to 2010 also was one of the worst drawdowns. We've had numerous drawdowns in Bitcoin. So if you are someone who's interested in investing in Bitcoin, just understand that volatility is the name of the game, and you have to be understanding and be able to stomach these type of drawdowns. Now, we haven't had a 90% drawdown since 2011, but we have had a 80% drawdown, which the last one was in 2017 going into 2018, and then we had another one in 2021, and a lot of people blame that, or it was close to 80% or 78%, when it came to the FTX collapse and bankruptcy and the Terra Luna collapse as well. So a lot of people believe that because there was a major fail basically in the system when it comes to all of these different institutions that were levered to Bitcoin as well as other cryptocurrencies, that caused this collapse of this severity, going down 78% in 2022. So we are now seeing that there is a lot of what they call deleveraging. So a lot of people who have been taking leveraged bets with Bitcoin and taking out loans, taking out collateral and things of that nature. So when you get liquidated, when Bitcoin gets to a certain level, then you're so-called margin called. And so those funds could then be liquidated and sold if Bitcoin gets to reach a certain level. So a lot of liquidations happened in October. And we know this, we've talked about it in one of our last videos, talking about the largest liquidation event, which was about a $19 billion liquidation, which happened on October 10th. So there's still may be some flush out that's happening from that. So obviously we have to see if we will recover from this drawdown. Could we potentially go down more? Absolutely. But obviously time will tell, especially over these next several weeks going into the end of the year, whether or not we can see a little bounce back from Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies. We see the Bitcoin indexes, which is basically an indicator of a lot of the institutional investment into Bitcoin. We're seeing that we're still getting inflows, even though over the last couple of weeks and over the past month, we've definitely seen outflows, particularly from IBIT, which is the largest holder of Bitcoin. That's the BlackRock offering, has about $65 billion worth of assets currently. They've had a $2 billion outflow over the past month, but you can see that over the past week that we have seen some of the other Bitcoin ETFs do quite well in terms of bringing in an inflow. You see BTC as well as BTCO also had some inflow coming into the asset over the past week. And obviously year to date, we're still seeing a major inflow of $22 billion worth of Bitcoin that has been bought by the Bitcoin ETFs. Before we go, we just want to show a reminder of why Bitcoin has been such a great asset to buy and hold. So the last major all-time high of Bitcoin was November 10th of 2021. So if you bought Bitcoin in November of 2021, we're going to our trusty dollarcostaverage.com website. So November was that 10th? 2021. So if you bought at the all-time high, and we'll take it to 11/22/2025, and you put in, let's say, $7 per week. So basically $1 a day. If you did that weekly, what would that turn out to be? So your average over the last 4 years, basically, and if you started buying at the all-time high and you put in $1 a day, basically put $7 a week into Bitcoin, you would have spent a total of $1,000, $477, acquired 0.0378 Bitcoin, which is over 3.7 million Satoshis. That value would now be, that Bitcoin would now be worth over $3,243, which is a return of over 119%. So just by putting in $7 a week into Bitcoin, and you started at the all-time high over the last 4 years, you would have over doubled your money. So this is what happens with the power of compounding, the power of dollar cost averaging, the power of buying and holding. So this is why it can be very simple if you decide to just put in a little bit of money, not have that cup of coffee that you buy from your favorite coffee shop once in a week, and decide to put that in Bitcoin and see what that does. And there's lots of various ways that you can do that. You can do it on a lot of different brokerages and have the opportunity to just have them automatically take that $7 a week or whatever amount it is that you choose to put into Bitcoin. These are the things that can create wealth. These are the things that allow you to store value. So just some food for thought as we get out of here. Once again, thank you so much for watching us here at Networkchain, and we appreciate you taking your time to watch our weekly videos. Please reach out, and we look forward to linking up with you soon on the Networkchain. In the meantime, take care. Bye-bye.